Yeah, you say you need time at City, and that Barcelona had 15 years or whatever from their style of play. Do you think you'll be able to achieve what you want to in 3 years here, or do you think you might need more than that?
I don't think so, because I don't want to play like Barcelona. And Barcelona play in that way. It depends on the players they have, especially one. So, no. So I know, I hear many times people say Pep is coming here to change the English football. And I said from the beginning, forget about it. I'm not here to change absolutely anything. I will try to don't be changed. I want to learn, and I will try to change one way to play for my players and try to convince them they can have fun and play good and win as much games as possible for after fight for the titles. That is only my target. So the players we're working with every single day, that is going to try in my way. That's why they contact me. So the reason why Manchester City once in their lives call me to try to play in the way I believe with the players that I have. And of course I'm going to adapt to the quality for the players. I'm not going to play long balls with the tallest striker they have is 1 meter, I don't know, short, okay? So, but of course we're going to use, because Agüero had the quality to score a goal in the right moment, in the head. So we're going to play the way we play for the quality for our players. And we did it many times that year. So I'm still really impressed how quick we play good many times during the game with a huge personality in the short time. But achieve what they achieve, we need decades. It did happen in Barcelona. Once arrived Cruyff and started, and arrived in 89, 19. So count, it's 25, 26 years old after that. So no. I am ambitious, but not like to change what is impossible to change in a short time. It's impossible.
Hi, Pep. You've talked about the chances that City have conceded this season. Is this defence good enough to win something like the Champions League?
No.
Or is it an area that you need
to win the Champions League?
To win the Champions League?
No.
Is it an area you need to improve in the transfer
No, but
market?
to win the Champions League, it depends on how hard, how strong is your defensive there. In the Champions, depends on the global, not. So the conceit now, the situations is. I never went in a press conference and said this because that line is the responsible for our bad moments, or that guy is the responsible for that. So not, or for the referees. We didn't win for the referees. Of course they're influenced, but one day after they're going to help us, the referees, so for decisions. So I don't want to live my life thinking this situation is good, blaming or against us. So it's happened. Sometimes helps, sometimes it's avoid. It's how you react on that, how you face against that situations, and you react good. So normally what happened in Everton, when you miss one penalty after one goal and after miss a second penalty, you don't draw that game. You fight until the end to win the game. Normally you lose 2-0 or 3-0, and you never give up. You didn't give up, and that's why I'm happy. When that's happened, it's just to be close to my players. When that's happened, I'm not going to tell you here, but in the cabina they are going to listen to me. But so it's a concept. It's what happened in our box in defensive to concede the goal is the same. How clinical we are in the box for the opponent. When we arrive, score goal or not score goal, and the penalty we do it or don't do it. But we didn't lose against Everton because we missed 2 penalties. I'm not going to say Kevin or Sergio, you are the responsible to win. No. Because there are many other options, we could score a goal in that terms. But they have to understand how important is the bar the boxes, how important they are, and there is to live like, wow, here is a bomb here. The ball you have to go away as quick as possible, or score a goal. So that is what I believe.
Pep, do you need a certain kind of striker to play against Barcelona? And if you do, does Sergio need to add something to his game to become that striker? Or is it impossible to play with a striker at Barcelona because you have to flood the midfield?
I didn't understand you, sorry.
Is it possible to play with a striker at Barcelona?
With a striker?
Yeah, or do you have to flood the midfield? And if it is possible to play with a striker, what sort of striker do you need? And does Sergio have those qualities? Or does he have to add something to his game to become that striker?
Yeah. Of course Sergio can play in Barcelona. He played with Manuel many times, all the times. I'm not talking about. But in that moment, this crazy training thing, I believe in that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely can play with success. Normally, we don't have, the people don't have too much success in Barcelona, but of course can play. Can play with Sergio and win the game or lose the game. So I had to tell me, if you ask me now, with Sergio would have been completely different. So I don't know. We would have created more chances. I don't know. What would be even better? I don't know. I don't have this quality to know what would happen, but I know what happened. We didn't lose. I'm guilty, so I'm responsible. We'll be able to win, or the action from John Stones, or the save from Ter Stegen from Gundogan, or maybe the referee penalty, or something like this, and win the game. I did. After that, it was right. So I know, but I have to take the decisions. In the beginning, for the greater squad and like this, I accept that. That's why I'm here. So I'm open to receive what you write, what you tell about my decisions. But always I did it in my career. So in that I don't have afraid. So what I believe from here, most of the time I try to do that. So I cannot deny me what I feel before one game. And of course our best striker is Sergio. But in that moment in Camp Nou, how they play, I try to look for another kind of things. And try to, to a little bit more control. And Kevin, sometimes from behind, when come to pick up the ball, to play associated with David or with Kevin, with Gundogan and the other. After that, has good movements behind the back four or behind the line. And I would try to look for there in the first pressure to a little bit more intensive than Sergio in the first minutes. That would try to look for. And the game was league after, when 10 against 11. And the decisions are always bad.
Pep, on Company, I think everyone agrees that when he is fully fit, he's a very good defender. But how realistic is it that you can rely on him to play, 30 or 40 matches a season, given his, his injury troubles?
No, in that moment, what happened in the last 2 years, I don't know. We are working on that, and the doctors and he. So I thought 2 or 3 days ago, maybe Vincent in Camp Nou for his personality, maybe he can that, but. When they after the training session after here, I said, I didn't feel like this in that moment when his head is not ready. What happened in the last 2 years is better, to stay out. And I think I spoke with Vincent on that. So don't make me, don't put a lot of pressure about how many games or big targets or big. So try to training good, to weeks after week, training no injuries, and after we play a game. And after we're able to play 75 minutes, 90 minutes, or maybe it was my mistake in Swansea. Don't change, don't put another player, and after that, another one, and after we will see. But I think when he's trying to play one game and after another one, he will take a lot of confidence, and maybe he will be able to play more games. Okay, thank you.